Hey guys, welcome back to RC Crawler Workbench. Today we're going to work on my drive lines, drive shafts for the Defender. I got some drive shafts from Junfac, and I've had one for a while, so I ordered another one, and they ended up sending me the wrong size. And I also ran into another problem. The output shaft on my transfer case, the output shaft is going to be going out the rear down to my rear axle. The output shaft on the transfer case is too long, so I'm going to have to cut it down. I could order another shaft, but I'm just going to modify it, man. I mean, that's what I like doing, so that's what I'm going to do. So we'll dive in, get some close-ups, look at what we're going to do today, and then we'll get to it. Alright guys, sorry if it's a little shaky. This is probably the best way to let you see what I'm talking about here. As you can see, the output is definitely too long. If I turn this up, maybe you'll be able to see that even in all the way, the hole does not line up inside there. So I'm gonna have to trim off. I marked it there. I'm gonna have to trim that off, and then probably I'm gonna have to shave that nipple off the end of the drive shaft here, which I've had to do before on these type of shafts and MIPs, whatever. But this little part right here, this little ring at the end, I'll probably just put that on the bench grinder and take it down flush. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. And then on top of that, we're going to trim this shaft down some because it's a little bit too long for the distance between my transfer case and my axle. So that's what we got planned today. Alright guys, so the transfer case is out. We're going to head on out to the bench grinder and get that trimmed down. Alright guys, something about the RC Crawler Workbench that may differ from other places is everything here is less than full scale. That includes my bench grinder. As you can see here, this thing's in about half scale. Got this from Harbor Freight. I don't work on full-size rigs, so why do I need a full-size grinder, right? Anyways, this thing works pretty good, guys. I think it was around 30 bucks, and it's done everything I needed to do. About time for a new wheel, though. So first off, let's get some safety gear on. Even though it's a small grinder and it doesn't sling sparks quite like a full-size one does, it can still damage your sight, so don't forget your safety gear. Let's do this. See if I can line it up where you can see through it now. Looks like we got it. It's going to be hard for me to line it up where you can see it out here. But she's definitely so I don't have to take this nub off, this little nipple off. like I was talking earlier. I'm not going to have to take that off, so I believe I'm going to leave it on there. So, alright, on the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to trim down the male shaft, and we're going to trim it down to the exact size of the front shaft, and I'll show you what that's going to be like. Alright, so basically I wanted to clean that end up a little bit. Get with some compressed air. See, even my air compressor is less than 1-to-1 scale. Alright, so let me show you a nice little close-up of what that looks like, how it turned out. Turned out pretty good. Alright, now we can move on to the next step. Alright, so the next step, gotta trim our drive shaft. If I can get this to focus a little better. If you can see that or not, probably not, but I've marked it right there, the permanent marker, and I'm going to take my Dremel tool now with a metal grinder bit on it. They make cutoff wheels too, but I'm out of cutoff wheels, so I'm just using this grinder, and I'm going to cut right on the outside edge of my line there. Now I'm going to trim this off, then I'm going to put the bench grinder back up there, and I'm going to grind it off nice and smooth, nice and neat, and then we'll go for a test fit. Alright, it's probably kind of warm, I would imagine. So we'll let that cool off, and let's go on to the next step here. Alright, so as you can see there, I cut just above my line. That way it gives me some room to make a nice clean finished product when I go to grind it on the bench grinder over there. Alright, so we'll do that now. Move the vise out of the way here. The bench grinder back up here. Zoom you guys in just a little bit. I got a new camera, by the way, guys, so forgive me if I'm not, I don't have everything down yet. Here we go. Safety glasses on. Take a little more off of it. If I take a little more off of it, but as you can see with a bench grinder, you can clean it up, clean up the edges a little bit, round off these edges here so they're not sharp, so it slides into the female end nice and easy. And there you go. So we'll go back in, get everything together, test fit, and see what we got. Alright guys, so everything's fitting nice. All the holes are lining up. Real quick tip here. All my grub screws of every shape and size I've pretty much saved. I got a little baggie. I put them all in. These Junfac shafts come with these small grub screws, one on each side. So instead of doing that, since these outputs all have holes going all the way through them, unlike the old axial ones didn't have, they just had the flat output bar or output shaft, and you just tighten down the grub screw to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use these here. It's threaded on one side. It has your 1.5 millimeter hole for your driver to go in, and I'm going to run that completely through. Alright guys, hopefully you can see that okay. See if I can turn it here. We got a full grub screw all the way through, front and rear, top and bottom. It's a just gonna flip it over, I'll show you. It's one of the long grub screws that goes all the way through the output. Here's the front one. Instead of putting the two short grub screws on each side of the output shaft, just put one long one. That way penetrates the shaft. And you know, these small ones like this here, just a waste of time in my opinion. They'll get you through in a bind, but I like the ones that go all the way through. So anyhow, we're over again here. We have fully compressed, so our length turned out to be just right. Our holes lined up good. You can see in there everything matched up nice, and yeah, so a little modification went well, and I'm happy with the results. Alright guys, well, I appreciate y'all watching. That about wraps it up for this episode of RC Crawler Workbench. Hopefully that video helps you out a little bit. Hopefully if you have any problems or have had in the past with your output shafts, the length of them, or the length of your drive shafts, Junfac in particular, hopefully that video helped you out a little bit. Again, I appreciate y'all watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you guys out on the trail. Thanks for watching.